Hello, this is U.S. Immigration Attorney Sharifa Tharpe. I'm here live to take your U.S. immigration related. I'm not able to answer questions today, but I wanted to come on quickly to give you an update about what is happening regarding the parole in place. So it's not great news. At this point, it's very disappointing news. But District Federal Federal District Court in Texas has now put a hold on the parole in place process, stating that it warrants a deeper, more detailed review by the courts before they can move forward with it. The hold on this parole in place process is for 14 days. It can be extended. But one thing to note here is that they are saying that the court is saying that they must not put a hold for 14 days on granting any parole in place decisions. But the court is not saying that the government cannot continue accepting applications. So, what I would say here is as long as the government is still accepting applications, if you want to still go ahead and submit your applications so that when the government does resolve this litigation, might be in as little as 14 days, might be longer, it might be extended, but you know that you would have gotten these documents in so you could create a potential option for yourself in the future. So I would say this: don't consider still submitting an application because there is no hold on the government accepting applications for this parole in place. And keep in mind that the hold is temporary. It is not. It is not permanent. It is not a final decision. This still has to be resolved. Another thing to note here is that we do have an additional update in that we have an immigrant who is now filing a suit to be able to intervene in this litigation, stating that they and many immigrants in the same situation are facing harm because of this ban or this temporary hold on making any decisions on the parole in place process. So that could also prevail here and would be able to clear the way for the parole in place process to get started again, so that decisions can be made. But what I would say here is you're still creating a potential option for yourself. You're still putting yourself in line so that when the government can make a decision, they will make a decision on yours first because you got in first. So let's still trek forward. Let's still submit those applications while the government can accept it until we hear otherwise. And hopefully the government will prevail in this case, because the federal government has been granted the authority to grant parole in place. And so it is very unlikely that they're going to prevail on the argument that this is a violation of the Constitution, because it is explicitly stated that the President of the United States can use their authority to grant parole in place. So, we'll see how this plays out. But in the meantime, get those applications in until we hear otherwise, until there's a permanent hold on this or a permanent stop to this process. Still get those applications in because the government is still accepting applications. They just can't make a decision until this is resolved, which could be about in as little as 14 days, because that's how long the temporary ban is. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and answer some questions. So put your questions. I'm going to answer questions. I just have about 5 minutes to answer questions. So put those questions in the comments now so that I can answer your questions. All right. So let's see. If employer takes the three-person work and gives the employee one-person pay, can so this is where you we did definitely need to talk. Those are getting too deep into the facts, and the T visa process is to be able to determine whether you qualify is very fact intensive. We have to understand every aspect of what you went through to be able to advise about your eligibility for this. So this is where the consultation is going to be very important. If you're married to a U.S. citizen 7 years, can you qualify for PIP? Yes, as long as you can also show 10 years of residence, you can qualify. They just want to know that you have been married to your spouse as of June 17th, 2024. Do you think DHS will win this case like they did earlier this year with the Venezuela PIP? Absolutely. I believe they will because it is squarely within the authority of the President of the United States to grant parole in place. They should prevail on this. The argument that it is a violation of the Constitution is unwarranted because the president clearly has that authority to grant parole in place. LPR filing for kids under 21, processing times for I-130, I would say about 2 to 2.5 years. What are the qualifications? How long do you think the hold on PIP will be? At minimum, we're 14 days, but keep in mind that the entity that brought this suit by Stephen Miller, he was the one, by the way, that spearheaded the policies under Trump, immigration policies under Trump. He's the one that was responsible for also spearheading the child and parent separation policy during the Trump administration. He is now heading an organization called America First Legal, and they are fiercely fighting this parole in place. So what the bar right now is the temporary bar is for 14 days. And the government is fighting this. So we'll have to see if it will be extended. I don't think that they're going to not fight. They are going to push for an extension on that 14 days. But right now the ban is for 14 days. Do we get back money? So this is no, you don't get a refund from immigration if it's permanently blocked. So you will not get that. And then even here with at our firm, keep in mind that we've done the work and we do advise you about the risk and we're monitoring the case. So in that case, we don't have a refund policy on it either. Aren't let's see. Does it matter what state you file from? No, it doesn't matter. What are the qualifications? Can I get a visitor's visa as ID for marriage if my passport is expired? So I'm not understanding that question. Hi there on Instagram. It's so nice to see you. All right. So how can one buy a vacation house on B1? So that is beyond the scope of my immigration. Good morning. I want to book an appointment, but I want to book with you. So yes, you have to go with my availability. We're really booked out, but we do have Attorney Bria available. And keep in mind that Attorney Bria is an extension of me. We work closely together on cases. And so Attorney Bria will definitely give you the same treatment and advice as I would. So let's see, I'm still going through. All right. Hi there on YouTube. All right. So if you are a client, just make sure you call the office. We're here to give you personalized legal advice. So I don't want to answer any questions for existing clients on the live. So make sure, and this is for confidential reasons, make sure you call the office and ask us. That's why I'm your attorney. So make sure you talk to me directly, send me a message or call the team and get your questions out. But don't do it on live because we want to make sure we preserve confidentiality. Um, Thanks so much, Coda. All right. I'm just going through questions here. All right. So now, when it comes to the new procedure, so that was one of the major updates that I provided 2 days ago, and that was about the new policy changes that are going into effect today, August 28th. And that one of the most exciting parts of it is that they are going to start a bona fide determination process. The bona fide determination process also means that they will consider, once they've issued a bona fide determination, granted deferred action, they will consider a work permit application to be able to issue work permits before a final decision is made, which is amazing. That was not available under the T. And that could also be a sign that they may start to max out the quotas that they have. And so now they have to implement deferred action, kind of a wait list, but those on the wait list will be able to get their work permits. So those who are who are going through initial review will be able to get this prima facie. So we'll have to see how it works. This is brand new. It's going to be brand new for us as attorneys as well. That's the assumption, though, that when we submit the work permit applications for the bona fide determination process, then it means that my clients are able to get their work permit earlier. So that is the assumption, and we have to see processing times. We're assuming that it means that the work permit is expected to be issued before the final decision, right? So we'll have to see, but this is an exciting development, and they are implementing it as of today. So we will when our clients are applying, we are going to be submitting those work permit applications with our clients' applications so that they can be considered for their for work permits while they wait because of the bona fide determination process. All right. Okay, so I have a cousin who is in the USA. He has mental issue. He has no status. He lost his 2-year green card by abuse from his spouse. The family wants him to go back to Africa, so they will take care of him. How to make him be deported? So I am not in the business of trying to find ways to get people deported. I strongly believe that if he is here, he has his green card, he should be able to get the care that he needs here and be able to move forward with his life, get his 10-year green card in order to get the right care. So if this individual wants to be able to get their 10-year green card and move forward with their life and be empowered, that's where I can help. But other than that, I'm not in the business of helping people to be deported. When to submit I-693 based on VAWA, adjustment of status, because the this is the medical, goes with the adjustment of status. So if you're applying for adjustment of status along with the VAWA, then you can do that medical right now. Medical does not expire. Hi there on Instagram. Good morning. How long after submitting the required documents to NBC for the I-130 can you get the interview? So it's a long wait, about a year and a half. Unfortunately, it's long. Can you please do a session on NIW? Absolutely, I'll plan to do that in the future. I'm about to give birth in the US and will be going back home after the birth. How will that affect my revisiting the US? So I have seen where individuals have lost their visas because maybe it came out that they took public benefits out. So that's the main concern, is when you're taking public benefits out to cover the cost of giving birth. That can be a problem when they're reviewing your application for renewal of the visa. Did the new law pass out about T visas today? It's effective today, absolutely. Um, Hello, can I get I'm not sure what that is. A U visa, I think. If you qualify, if you've been the victim of a crime, what processing times for a minor out of country after receiving a green card? So about 2 years, 2.5 years. I want to book, so I answered that. Just go ahead, schedule with Attorney Bria, or you can schedule with me. But just keep in mind that there is a wait period for that. But move forward. I'm creating resources and systems for you to be able to access the help you need with the firm, with attorneys that are an extension of me. So take advantage of that. All right, that's going to be it for me. I just wanted to come on here and tell you about the parole in place update. So I would say, once again, I'm just reiterating what I said previously. It's Now it's expired for 14 days. It can be extended, so we should be prepared for that. Um, but the government right now can still accept applications. They just cannot. Um, they cannot go ahead and make a decision on those cases. So once the ban is lifted, they can continue to make those decisions. So what I would say here is you really need to evaluate, the pros and cons. The pro here is that you would be able, by submitting the application anyway, and by it being accepted by USCIS, you are still potentially creating an option for yourself. So as soon as a decision is made, you would be able to get your parole in place quickly after they can start making decisions. Yes, the con is that you also face the risk of paying fees and paying filing fees for this, and the government not prevail, and there be a permanent stop to the parole in place process. There is that risk there. But I would say, whenever you can create an option for yourself in the future, why not? Create a plan B for yourself. I often say, create a plan B for yourself, that if all works out, which I would say in this case, the government can prevail on this because they have every right to implement systems like parole in place. So in that case, you would have created a plan B for yourself that would have worked. But if you don't file now, then and you delay that process, and then they start making decisions, you could find yourself at the tail end of the process, long processing times, and so forth. All right. Um, Yes, Kashinia. So yes, we are book, and that's why I say book quickly. Make sure that you also consider our other attorneys. So we have Attorney Bria. We have an additional attorney that's going to be joining the firm soon. You should schedule with them as well if you can't get on my schedule, because they are an extension of me. Remember, I only have so many hours in the day. So what I have to do is make sure that I extend and expand the resources available to you all for you to be able to get the assistance you need and for me to be able to help you. So go ahead and book with Attorney Bria and then look out for additional attorney to join so you can book with them. I work closely with them and they will give you the same care as me. So make sure you don't do yourself an injustice by not booking a consultation at all, because help, that's what we're here to do. Okay, and what will happen to all those people who apply for PIP and they halt the program completely? So it just means that they're back at square one. They're not deporting anybody, they're not issuing notices to appear, so you don't have to fear that. But it just means that all these families that wanted to stay together, wanted to stay with their spouses, wanted their children to be with them, will not have that option available to them anymore, right? So they'll be back at square one, which is painful. It's like, bringing people to a hopeful position and then to rip that hope away. So we'll see. I am hopeful. The ban is temporary. The government is still accepting applications, and we do have an immigrant who is going through the same thing, who is actually a prosecuting attorney himself, but he came into the country as a child without permission, without inspection, and still, overcame all the obstacles and became an attorney, likely through DACA. He's maintaining some form of permission to be here through DACA. But with this attorney who is an immigrant, he is unable to adjust status because he cannot. Um, he he came in without inspection. So this attorney, who is also in the same situation as everybody else, is now trying to intervene. So they have filed documents to intervene in the litigation, to ask the judge for relief, seeing that him as well as many other immigrants in the same situation are being damaged because of it. So we'll have to see how this plays out. We'll have to see if they extend the ban on it. The government is working fiercely to get this ban lifted. So we'll see. I'll give you an update as soon as I hear something. All right. So have a great day, everyone. And if you don't see me at lunchtime or sometime today, we'll talk tomorrow again. All right. Have a good one. So nice to see you. All right. Thanks so much for your time this morning. All right. Have a great day. Bye, guys.